Hey guys, it's Miss Sonatore. Happy Tuesday to everyone. I'm out here hanging out with our class plant. If you want to look at it again, it's gotten even bigger, even taller. I know it loved the rain last night. I cannot wait to just keep on seeing this thing grow and grow and grow. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day so far. I'm really looking forward to continuing our Jigsaw Jones story. We started a new one yesterday. I can't wait to see what happens. But before we start, I'm going to give you guys a great big hug just to remind you that I miss you, love you, and that I'm here for you. Always sending my love from my house to your house. Think back to yesterday. We started Jigsaw Jones, the case of the stolen baseball cards. So there's a character in the book named Eddie who likes to collect baseball cards, but when they got back into the classroom, they were gone. So let's actively listen to the next 2 chapters to see what happened to his baseball cards. Here we go. This is chapter 3. It's called The Phantom Leaves a Clue. Eddie looked around the room. Somebody stole my baseball cards, but nobody said a word back. We all just sat there, shocked. Who did it? Eddie demanded. Was it you, Biggs? Eddie pointed an accusing finger at Biggs Maloney. Or was it you, Kim? You're the one who made such a fuss over my Derek Jeter card. Miss Gleason spoke up. That's enough, Eddie, she said. No one is pointing fingers in this classroom. But no buts, Miss Gleason said. Her face is red. I know you're upset, but please return to your seat. I'll handle this. Mila raised her hand. Excuse me, Miss Gleason, she said. What is it, Mila? Mila stood up. When Eddie picked up the binder, I noticed that a scrap of paper fell to the ground. Maybe it's a clue. Eddie rushed over to pick up the paper. He read it and then held up the note for everyone to see. It read, The Phantom Strikes. Everybody started talking at once until Miss Gleason made us settle down. Miss Gleason was unhappy and she didn't try to hide it at all. The kids were all worried and upset. After all, there was a thief in room 201. I took out my detective journal. I couldn't find my red marker, so I picked up my next favorite color. I wrote in green, The Case of the Stolen Baseball Cards. Below that, I made 2 neat columns. At the top of one, I wrote suspects. On the other, I wrote clues. I turned to a new page and wrote, Who is the Phantom? Meanwhile, Miss Gleason went over to Eddie and talked to him quietly. Then she stood up in front of the class. Boys and girls, this is serious. Eddie said he had 26 baseball cards in his binder. He did, Helen chimed in. We all saw them. Miss Gleason nodded. Okay, she said. The cards are missing, and I'm very, very upset. We all know never to touch someone's personal property, but maybe someone took the cards by accident. Please look in your desk. No one found a thing, except Joey. He found an old Oreo stuffed in the back of his desk. Joey twisted it open, licked the white insides, and gobbled down the cookie part in 2 bites. I scribbled a message to Mila in a secret code. It was pretty easy to read once you knew the trick. You had to cross out every other letter. That's why detectives call it an alternative letter code. I handed the page to Mila. It looked like this. MWERTYMUEPASTJELOMZIFSXZZKOPL. Here's what it really said. Meet me at the office after school. Chapter 4, A Bargain. After reading the note, Mila slid a finger across her nose. That was our secret signal. In the detective business, you can never be too careful. That's why we use codes and secret signals. I looked around the room. Biggs Maloney, Joey, Lucy, and even my pal Ralphie Jordan, anyone might be the Phantom. Out on the playground for afternoon recess, everybody was talking about the robbery. Most kids felt bad for Eddie, but Kim Lewis was mad. She said Eddie was wrong to accuse her. I agreed with Kim. You can't accuse someone until you have the proof. Solving a mystery is like doing a jigsaw puzzle. It's not solved until you have all the pieces. I wanted to talk to Eddie Becker, alone, but I had to wait for him to finish talking with Biggs Maloney. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but Biggs looked pretty unhappy. I guess that Biggs didn't like being accused either. Believe me, you don't want to mess with Biggs Maloney. We don't call him Biggs for nothing. I finally grabbed Eddie and handed him my business card. Actually, it was an index card with Mila's neat handwriting written on it. Need a mystery solved? Call Jigsaw Jones or Mila Ye. Private eyes. For $1 a day, we make your problems go away. Eddie looked at the card and yawned. He handed it back to me. No thanks, he said. Don't you want your baseball cards found? I asked. Eddie stared at me for a minute. Then he smiled. Tell you what, he said. If you want to try to solve this case, that's fine with me, but I won't pay you. Sorry, Eddie, I said. It doesn't work that way. Eddie scratched the ground with his sneaker. I'll make a deal with you, he said. If you solve the mystery, you can have any of my baseball cards. But if you don't solve it by tomorrow, he said, you have to pay me $1. Tomorrow, I said. That's rough. Well, if you can't do it, any baseball card? I chimed in. You can take your pick, Eddie answered. It's a deal. We sealed it with a handshake. Let me see the Phantom's note, I said. Eddie handed over the paper. I studied it under my magnifying glass. I slipped the note into my pocket. I'll keep this, I said. It's evidence. Eddie shrugged. He didn't seem to care one way or the other. Finally, it was the end of the school day. Everybody had jobs to do in room 201. We all had to clean up our area and sharpen our pencils. Plus, some kids got special jobs. There were homework checkers and closet neaters, board cleaners and eraser stampers and chair putter-uppers. Mila was the homework checker that day. Me and Ralphie were chair putter-uppers. Danica Starling was zookeeper. We had 2 hamsters in our class, Romeo and Juliet, and they needed food and fresh water every day. We all agreed zookeeper was the best job in our classroom. When we lined up to leave, Miss Gleason said, before you go, boys and girls, I want everybody to empty their backpacks. It's a good time to clean out old papers. Miss Gleason didn't fool me for a minute. I knew that she was still hoping to find Eddie's missing baseball cards. We all dumped out our backpacks, but there were no cards to be found. I'm sorry, Eddie, Miss Gleason said. They don't seem to be anywhere. I wasn't surprised. The Phantom wasn't going to be caught that easily. That is the end of what we're going to read today. That was chapters 3 and 4. Who is the Phantom? I can hardly wait to find out. So meet me back here tomorrow. Maybe we'll get some more clues. Have a great rest of your day.